Sure. Today, I would like to highlight and acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day to pay respect and to honor the rich history, culture, and contributions of Indigenous peoples. I would also like to reemphasize the board's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity as we continue to seek to understand the historical injustices and ongoing challenges that Indigenous peoples face. We welcome the opportunity to learn and engage more with the Indigenous communities in our district, and we express our gratitude for their continued contributions to our community. So please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board Clerk Maggie Smith, would you please call the roll?
Maggie Smith, here. Bridget Todd Robbins,
Here.
Barb Wunsch,
Here.
Crystal Lee,
Here.
Jennifer Deep,
Here.
Khadijah Islam.
Here.
Chris Lau.
Here.
Lindsay Need.
here.
The 7 of the 7 board members present, I declare a quorum. I note that the agenda has been posted, distributed, and sent to the local media. With this in mind, are there any changes to this agenda? I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
So moved.
Chris has moved,
Second.
and Khadijah has second to approve the agenda as published. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the agenda as published, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please signify by saying nay. The motion to approve the published agenda has passed. And we do not have any public participation this evening. So moving on to recognition and thank yous, Dr. Mueller.
Okay, so this evening we have invited our new staff to our meeting, and just first want to thank them for choosing Holmen and being a part of our Holmen family. We're very happy to have you here and a part of our district. And so this evening we would like you to come up, and we have a microphone here, and just have you all come up, and we'll kind of stand in a line and just introduce yourselves and what position you are have in the district, and maybe what you had done before you came to work with us in the School District of Holmen. So if you come on up, and Stacy will help guide you. Yes. We just want to learn more about you and celebrate you. Yes.
I'm Beth Miller. I am academic interventionist at Viking, and prior to this, I was a sign language interpreter, an at-risk academic and behavior teacher, early childhood teacher, a reading teacher, and now completing my 316 and 317 license and coming here for an academic interventionist position.
I'm Allison Wojny, and I teach early childhood special ed at the public preschool. And before this, I was in DeSoto for 10 years as a first grade teacher. Thank you.
My name is Lucy Hubble, and I'm at Viking Elementary. I'm a special ed educational assistant. Previously, I was at West Salem Elementary as a 4K para. Left the end of February for a full-time work-from-home job and quickly decided that was not a good fit and I missed the kids too much. So anyway, I just live out on Bryce Prairie, so it's nice to drive a little, not have as long of a drive to work and work for the district I pay taxes to.
Excellent.
My ned is Rob Sorensen. I am the social emotional learning teacher at the high school. I came here from Madison where I was teaching Phi Ed and coaching golf and basketball. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Angie Hendrickson, and I teach art at the high school here. And I taught art at Onalaska High School for the past 21 years and decided that I was ready just for a new change and a new challenge. And I've lived in Holmen for the past 20 years with my husband, and we have a son who's in 8th grade. So it's really nice to be working in the community that we live in. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Gimmer, pronoun she, her. I'm the Director of Safety and Student Services for the district here. Previously, I was a school psychologist in Onalaska School District, served K through 12. And before Onalaska, I was up in almost under Humbird, Maryland School District, teeny district up by Black River Falls. So background in mental health and students with disabilities.
Hi, I'm Joy Crenshaw. I'm the transition coordinator at the high school. Previous to this, I was an EA at the Bangor Elementary School for about 9 years, and then decided to go back and get my special ed license, and had the opportunity to student teach at Holmen High School and fell in love with your transition programs. So I'm very blessed to be able to be a part of Holmen High School. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Seifort, and I'm a special education assistant at Viking Elementary School. Prior to this, I've worked mostly healthcare and business, logistics health, and nursing assistant. And originally from Mondovi, Wisconsin, and then I completed my bachelor's at UW River Falls, and my master's at UW La Crosse and exercise science.
Hi, I'm Brandy Plank, and I'm a special ed assistant at Viking. And my family and I moved here in July from Central Illinois. I was previously a nail tech, so this is all completely new to me, but I love it. And I have a nephew in special needs, so I just was ready for a change, and I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with our board a little bit about yourselves and that, and we're just very happy you're here. I have a few more announcements and recognitions. It is National School Lunch Recognition Week this week, so we definitely want to take time to, when we see our nutrition services staff, to thank them and for fueling our kids and getting them ready for the school day and keeping them going. They work definitely tirelessly to provide healthy and affordable meals to our students. And then next week is our National School Bus Safety Week. So join us in celebrating our transportation department and our staff, our maintenance, our drivers, our administration that is driving too. But we just thank them for getting our students to and from school safely. We know it's not an easy job to maneuver the buses and vans around town, but we just thank them for all that they do. And lastly, just wanted to thank the North Country Steak Buffet. They recently donated free car washes to any staff member, so we should be looking good driving around in all of our vehicles. So thank you to them. And also just a shout out to our girls golf team. They are up in Madison and they're at the state tournament, and we're just very proud of them representing Holmen with such pride up there in competing at the state tournament. So thanks to the golf team and coaches for all they've accomplished.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to reports and discussion. Executive Director of Instructional Services Kim Edwards and Title I teacher Shannon Krett will present the ESSA Title I report. This item is for report only.
Great. Sure. No, go ahead and have a seat. Good evening. I'm here with Shannon Krett. Shannon is she spends half her day as a Title I teacher at Evergreen, which we'll be showcasing tonight, and then she spends the other half of her day as an academic interventionist over at Prairie View. And she is here to help me present our ESSA report, our Every Student Succeeds Act. So it's a look back on our Title I reading and math programs from last year. So the purpose of ESSA is to provide all children with an opportunity to receive that fair, equitable, high-quality education and to close those educational achievement gaps, which you can see depicted in our program's vision, really focusing on supporting all students in achieving academic success. So Title I is actually just one of several of the ESSA programs, and with it we really work on providing support for really strong universal instruction for all of our students. We used current research-based interventions. We engage in lots of collaboration, not only with each other, but with families and other teachers that we collaborate with, and work on providing a supportive and safe, nurturing environment for kids where they feel safe to take some of those educational risks. And then we really work on remaining current on the best practices and engaging in professional opportunities. So 4 years ago, we earned school-wide Title I status, which really allowed us to be a little bit more flexible in terms of how we provided our programming. And what was really great about that is it allowed us to fold our programs into what we use as a district and the building levels in terms of a continuous improvement process. So as part of the school-wide Title I requirements, we do a comprehensive needs assessment where we really take a look at data and figure out what are our needs, where do we need to maybe shore up some things, and where are some areas we can celebrate. With that, we create a school-wide program with specific goals and action steps as to how we're going to achieve those goals. And then finally, we continuously evaluate that and make changes to that to make sure that we're being responsive to students' needs. So Title I is one piece of this equitable multi-level systems of support that we have across our district. So all of our programs have that strong universal program that I talked about that all students receive. On top of that, we have some supports for students. And so Title I, as I said, is just a part of that, along with our academic interventionists. On the other side of that, we also have TAG and lots of other support staff to help make sure students' needs are met. So for Title I, we use our budget to really support our staffing in that area. So you'll see Evergreen, Sand Lake, and Viking each had not quite half of a position funded as part of that support. That, again, it was for last year. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, we lost about 50% of our Title I funding. A little change of events for this year. We actually got that funding back, but in another change of events, Evergreen became ineligible. So all of the funds went to Viking and Sand Lake. So our report will look a little different next year. So just kind of heads up on how that changed in terms of eligibility and then what that funding looked like. Still primarily spent on staffing though. And with that, I'll turn it over to Shannon to talk a little bit more about what they do at Evergreen.
Okay, so at Evergreen, actually I've been at Evergreen 6 years now, kind of on and off. I've been full-time, part-time, so I'm very familiar with the building over there. We use evidence-based interventions, and I really work hard to match to student needs. We go through all the reading areas and kind of pick the best fit for students. The most I've ever had in a group is 3 to 4, so you can match the kids to their needs. So it really is very personalized to the students. We send materials home to families too about how they can support their child at home with reading. Sometimes we'll send books or little activities. And then the groups are ever changing. As student needs change, we're changing groups up. So lots of flexibility in making sure the needs are met. Being in 2 buildings, one challenge I've had is the teacher collaboration, and I always make time. At least once a week, I try to meet with every teacher and kind of tell them how their group is doing. So, and then one highlight we had is with COVID, we had not been able to have a family involvement night. So I tried it this year. We were finally able to, and we just had a book reading of the Garofalo and showed a movie, but we had about 80 families come. So it was really exciting. Rachel saw me, but I was in shock because I was thinking, oh, maybe 5 to 6 families will show up, but we had quite a few families come. And it was a short reading of the Garofalo, and then we showed the movie, which was perfect because it was 45 minutes. And we had some families bring little ones, so that they were like, oh my gosh, that was perfect. Like by the time they were tired and hungry, they were leaving. So for me, it was really good. And some of our staff have also sent, like over the summer, sent mailings of books and sight words and stuff. So we're trying to keep them on top of it over the summer.
And then another requirement of the grant is that we have a proportional share where we work with our private school partners. So anybody who has a Holmen resident student, we provide services for. So we partner with St. Paul's Lutheran and St. Patrick's Catholic School. In Onalaska, we provide services for, or funding at least. And then we also have Great River Montessori, which is within our boundaries that we work with to support too with their proportional share and partner with them. Any questions on our Title I program?
Is the private schools us just providing funding, or are we providing staff support as well?
Right now, it's just funding because we have a pretty small allocation in general, and theirs is really small. So what they can do with it is a little bit. Most often, it's used to provide hourly tutoring, and we pay that hourly cost for the most part.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but some folks have heard me say this story before, but as a parent, I have a student who benefited tremendously from Title I. We sent him to Evergreen, and he struggled and struggled with reading, and he came out the other side declaring himself a reader. And for the last several years, like, he just tells everybody how much he loves reading.
Oh, good.
And he worked with Mrs. Kret, as we know you in our house.
And I
So-
see him.
so
I see him
just
quite
wanted
a bit in the hallway, and he always tells me, "Mrs. Kret, I'm reading really well now." They all tell me that.
He loves reading now. And so I just want to say thank you. I know title programs are a lot of work on the back end as well. Any federal program is a lot of administration. So thank you for creating readers, my own and others.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Moving on to item 8.2, I now invite Executive Director of Student Services Jill Mason to present the Viterbo University Clinical Affiliation Agreement. This item will appear on tonight's consent agenda.
Good evening. All right, so we are really excited. Viterbo has started a speech and language pathology program. The closest program I think we have is Eau Claire. And as many of you know, speech and language pathology is a really hard to fill position in our area, in our state, in our nation. So we're really excited that Viterbo has decided to start their program and has asked Holmen and all of our other schools to be partners to place clinical students in our schools so that they can learn. And of course, I said absolutely. So we're asking for your permission for us to do that. That's what this is about tonight. Any questions?
All right, that's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Jill. All right, for the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background materials on each item or has discussed it at a previous meeting. These will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. Would any board member like an item pulled out of the consent agenda to be discussed and or voted on separately? I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as provided.
So moved.
Motion by Chris,
Second.
second by Maggie. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Moving on to the board debrief. I will call upon board members and ask you to present any comments or committee reports you have. So tonight, we'll start with Maggie.
Yeah, I was going to say welcome to all of our new staff, and thank you to those of you who are here to watch the rest of the meeting. Welcome to the district. And Jennifer covered Indigenous Peoples Day, so I just wanted to recognize that that is today and encourage folks to take a second to learn more about the people whose land we occupy. And then I wanted to take a quick second to talk about the school nutrition team in Holmen. So I have been I worked with Mr. Gasper and his team for a solid decade and can't say enough good things about the entire team in the district. They were always the first to try new things, to run with new ideas. And I know that we had students both plant and harvest apples from an apple orchard, which is incredibly innovative, and that we routinely are serving up lettuce grown in hydroponics and all sorts of amazing work. At the state level here, Holmen's school nutrition program mentioned all the time as just like a really solid example of excellent work. So kudos to everyone involved in all of those efforts. That is it for me.
Okay, thank you. Bridget.
I also wanted to welcome all the new staff. What a pleasure hearing where you were from and your excitement around being part of this district. And then also, an appreciation to Jennifer for acknowledging Indigenous Peoples Day. I had told a story during our first Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee today, how I saw some students in a lacrosse school today celebrating, they were Indigenous and celebrating the fact that they were being honored today and how impactful that was around these kids really feeling safe and a sense of belonging. And so I really look forward to our district moving forward with a plan around equity. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Barb.
Yes, this evening we had the inaugural first DEI committee meeting. I would like to report that we were able to discuss what our goals will be for 23-24 in this committee. At this time, they include a long-range plan, and also we will be writing a commitment statement for the district. And so going forward, the new committee members kind of have a homework assignment. We're going to be bringing back ideas for that commitment statement that we can use going forth in our district. And then I would also like to just give a thank you to Mrs. Swanson, the principal at Viking, and the staff and students for inviting me. A week and a half ago, I was able to attend their Peace Pulse ceremony. And it was a very moving performance by the children, and the song that they sang, that is something that's going to stay with me for quite a while. So again, thank you for inviting me.
All right, thank you, Barb. Crystal.
Okay, so I'll say hi to the new staff here. It's very nice seeing you. I just want to say thank you for coming over to Holmen. You're going to make a great impact on the students within our district, and I know you will, so there's that. I also want to say thank you for the nutritional team, because not only do they work hard on planning amazing and delicious meals for our students, they also make it affordable, and they make it good. They make the school day better too with their lunches. I also want to say a quick shout out to our girls golf team. They made it to state, so let's hope they do well and they do pretty good at what they're doing. And yeah, I think that's it.
Sounds good. Khadijah.
Yeah, I echo a lot of what has already been said, and obviously the highlight of my day today was getting to be part of the first DEI committee meeting, and something that I think is really important to highlight is that it's my perspective as a new board member, but also as a member of the larger community, that Holmen is taking some really important and innovative steps towards being a leader in the field of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our area. I was even in conversation about how, you know, a lot of times there is some resistance to move forward on these things because we're looking at balancing legislation and our legal responsibilities, and we, you know, it can be a little daunting at times to be the first to really step out and do and make real commitments and take those brave steps to make the community better and hold the community to account. And so I'm personally very proud as a member of this community and as a member of this board to be a part of these conversations, because I think it'll show that we are leaders in our community, and so I'm very thankful for that. So.
All right, thank you, Chris.
We have a policy meeting on the 16th at 5 p.m. But not as exciting as DEI meeting, but still important. I just wanted to welcome all the new teachers. Just thank you for bringing your talents to Holmen. We really appreciate it. And then congratulations and good luck to the girls golf team.
Okay, Lindsay.
I also second, third, fourth, the welcome to everybody. I heard a couple Onalaska comments. Just want you to know I as well was from Onalaska, so I understand being here in Holmen and just have nothing but really great things to say about what Holmen's doing, and you know, being from Onalaska and then coming to Holmen, which I never thought I'd live in Holmen, but here I am. Now my kids go to this school, and now being on the board and learning everything that I've been learning I'm just really thankful that my kids are here, and especially I think when I toured the high school one time and seeing all of the different big rooms with the opportunities for hands-on learning, for career paths, just things that I never got at school, and to be really excited for my kids that they're going to have all those opportunities to really try to discover what they want to be. And then I guess I wanted to mention that all of us attended a WASB event. Was it last week? It's like the days blend. What
Last
day
Thursday.
is it?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday. It wasn't even that long ago. It feels like forever. And we, so that's like all of our region's school board members, Region 6, and just at GET, and we were the only one that had our entire board there, and we got a book.
We did.
Jennifer
I got a
got
book. I'm going to make it a district resource, so if anybody's interested in reading it. What's the title of it again? I don't know. It's by Sean Covey? Stephen Covey?
Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
Stephen Covey.
I
Yeah.
was going to bring it tonight and I forgot, so I will bring it at the next meeting.
I think that I just want to point that out because it shows the dedication of all of us and wanting to make sure we know what's going on and we're learning and going to meetings outside of just these meetings. So just wanted to point that out, that was a fun opportunity. And their jazz band performed for us. And I don't know what Holmen's jazz band's like, but jazz band has changed a lot since I was in high school. It's now really cool. It
was really cool.
Put on a really good show. So thank you guys.
All right, thank you. So again, welcome to new staff, all new staff, and especially those that are here. You are so valuable to us, and we are so happy to have you here. So I hope you've had a good first month here, and things are going well for you. I just wanted to thank all of the school board members for attending that fall regional meeting up at GET. And just because we did have everybody there, it just really shows our commitment and dedication from every single member on this board to wanting to learn and be better and do better. So thank you for being present and for continuing to learn as board members. For National School Lunch Recognition Week, I guess, just a shout out to the nutrition program and Mike Gasper. He does an amazing job and I know is involved. He's a leader in school nutrition at the state level and probably, I think, even involved with some things at the national level as well. So he does amazing work and his staff do amazing work. And I don't think there's a school lunch program that I know of that's better than Holmen's. So. And then National School Bus Safety Week. I just want to thank all of the bus drivers. I know you're far and few between right now, but every single one of you is so valuable. And I know my kids ride the bus every single day, and getting them safely to school and back, and just being responsible for the well-being. Really appreciate that. So, those are my comments today. Moving on, we have some first readings of board policies. It's been a little while since we had policies. So the board has been provided with 6 policies from the policy committee. And they're recommended for consideration. If a board member has any questions regarding a policy, they should reach out to Dr. Mueller prior to October 23rd meeting, where the policies will appear on the consent agenda for approval. So please take a look at those over the next week or two if you haven't already. And then our upcoming board meeting schedule on October 16th is the policy committee meeting that Chris mentioned at 5 p.m. October 23rd is our budget hearing beginning at 6 p.m., followed by our annual meeting and followed by a board meeting. So that's a big night, our next meeting. Then November 13th, we have a DEI committee meeting at 5 p.m., followed by a board meeting at 7 p.m. And then looking out into January, board members have the opportunity to attend the State Education Convention in Milwaukee, which I highly recommend. It was a great experience last year. So we do move into closed session next. So I'm going to ask Board Clerk Maggie Smith to read the motion to move to closed session.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby moves to adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.851C to consider employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. In this case, analysis of compensation for district positions of individual educators. Roll call vote.
Yep, so, let's see, Maggie has moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Chris has seconded to move to closed session. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I ask Maggie Smith to take a roll call vote.
Smith, yes. Bridget.
Yes.
Jennifer Deek.
Yes.
Khadijah Islam.
Yes.
Chris Lau.
Yes.
Lindsay Need.
Yes.
All right.
Couple minutes and we'll move it.
Yep.